Welcome to the Yoga in Black podcast. My name is Tarani, and I am the creator and host of this show. Really, the purpose of this is to shine a bright light on Black yoga instructors to help create safe places for our community to practice because we deserve it just as much as anybody else. Each episode, I bring you a new yoga instructor or wellness professional to share their story so you get a chance to know who they are, find where they are offering their classes, and experience all of the magic that they bring within this practice, whether it's yoga, whether it's something else. As long as it's holistic, we're all about it. So keep watching, keep listening, and I hope you enjoy the show. Thanks for being here. Do you ever meet somebody and just have an instant connection with them? Yeah, that's exactly what happened with this week's guest. I did not know Leah before we started this conversation today, aside from, the emails to get prepared and everything, but the conversation we had just flowed like water so much, I didn't want to get out of the damn pool. It was such a fun time, and I hope that you all enjoy it as well. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, here is the show with Leah Franklin. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Yoga in Black podcast. As always, you are here with me, Tarani, and I am joined this week by Leah Franklin, and I'm so excited to get to know you. And we were just talking about this before recording, but I always get really excited when I get to interview somebody that I don't know personally, because we really get to have an honest conversation. And I'm really excited for this opportunity to meet you because I've been checking out your feed and I love everything that you are doing. Not to mention, you mentioned that you are friends with someone that I have spoken with previously and absolutely adore her. So I know anyone that adores the other Leah is going to be just as amazing. And that you share the same name. Oh gosh, come on now. The similarities are already just
there, right?
So Leah, go ahead and give us a little brief introduction to who you are.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I am so excited to be here. As you mentioned, I am Leah Franklin, also known as Leah the Yogi, Lee Yogi, however you may have known of me before. I am located in the DMV area, and I teach three free weekly classes virtually in my home studio. And we just have a good time. I am very keen about, I guess I would say I'm more for the beginner yogi, if you will. I kind of keep it simple, like we're going to breathe, we're going to stretch, we're going to let it go. And we're going to keep doing that because life will life. So that's me, that is me. I love all things yoga. It has not been a lifelong journey for me. I started in 2018, got my certification in 2021. So I am a pandemic YTT too. So yeah. But yes, I am here. I'm excited and happy to have this opportunity to talk with you and meet you and chat with you.
I am so excited to have you here. Yeah, the amount of time that the pandemic allowed so many of us to take trainings that we were putting off is crazy because
right.
I took a 100-hour rocket yoga training that I had been putting off because of time and financial constraints, but that wasn't a problem anymore after having all of this time now available to me and so many programs being offered either at really deep discounts or donation based. And I'm like, I'm not going to miss that train. I'm hopping right onto it and getting all of these certifications that I've been missing.
Yeah.
And maybe not missing, but that I wanted.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I get that definitely. Because sometimes you don't even know what you're missing till you get into it. Then you're like, oh, okay, I'm in here.
Exactly. And it was such a time for all of us to really dig into ourselves and outside of work.
Yes.
For the first time in most of our lives.
Agreed. Yeah.
And I love that so many people got to have that opportunity because you can now see it shifting the way that we approach work now. And I work from home now. I mean I was a full time instructor at the time,
Mm-hmm.
up until about a few months ago, but after that point, I'm like, I am never going back to an office if I ever have to get to that point of getting an office job. I'm
Yeah.
doing work from home because this is craziness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do have like a 9 to 5, and I'm grateful that I only have to go into the office one day. But even that one
Nice.
day, I'm like, no, this is not what it was. Like, let's go
Right.
home. Let's go home. Definitely. Yeah. It's yeah. It's different. It's. I don't want to say it's hard. It's challenging. I'll say that it's challenging.
That's a
Yeah,
good word for it.
absolutely.
Yeah, that's the perfect word for it.
Frustrating even, but
Mm.
it's, yeah, I enjoy being home, and being home kind of definitely gives me the flexibility to pour into what I really want to do, which is this. So, more home. Let's stay home.
Yes, I love having the time to, dig into my passions a little bit more because not having to spend all of it commuting or all any other things, trying to run errands before the stores close because I don't have any other time to go do it.
Gosh. It's like the hecticness of it. But what I will say is, like, I don't know, a part of it kind of feels like post pandemic, wherever we are right now, right? It kind of feels like even more like, let's
Hmm.
let's be even more aggressive, and let's be even
Yeah.
more fast, and let's just keep going. Let's not stop to check anything. Let's just go, go, go. And I'm like,
Yeah.
so did we learn? We didn't
Learn
lock
nothing.
us all down. Lock us back all down again. Let's try again. Let's
And
try
I
again.
think I think that comes from those that were fighting it the entire time. They
Yeah.
didn't embrace the opportunity to just chill out for a minute.
Yes.
Um and it is sad. I will say that. It is sad to me sometimes, but I hold grace for them because it's like that's all you know right now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so this need to move faster, I think, is like I gotta make up for the time that was lost. And it's like you didn't lose anything. You gained so much. And I wish you would see it. Oh, I wish you would see it.
Definitely. And like, don't get me wrong, like when it all started happening, don't get me wrong, I was like, what in the world? What are we doing? What is happening? How are we gonna do this? Oh no. But then, like
Yeah.
I said, you after a while, some people decided, like, I guess, well, not don't want to say decided, but I guess decided two different things. Either I'm gonna go with the flow, I'm gonna ease into this, I'm gonna find myself, I'm gonna connect with my family in different ways that we haven't connected, or connect with my friends in different ways, or
Hmm.
I'm gonna just sit here until it's time to go again. And when it's time to go, I'm gonna go. And that's
And
good too. I get it, because it was a lot to process. There was a
yeah.
lot of information we were getting fed daily, weekly, whatever. Like, it was a lot. So like you said, definitely offering grace, and can't fault anyone for either way. It's just, all of us
Hmm.
back together again. It's like, whoa now.
Right, man. I'm like, I'm still in that very slow mode where I'm just like, I'm taking my time to get where I
Mhm.
need to go, to do what I need to do. If my time expires, then I just didn't get it done. That's fine. Ain't
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that. It's
Right.
hard. It's very hard to keep that mindset,
Mhm.
but I don't want to ever get back to the point of rushing myself to do things and having it turn out in a way that I didn't want it to because I was in a hurry. Like,
Exactly.
and
Because
there's no
sometimes,
hurry.
yeah. And sometimes when you do things like in a hurry, you wind up having to go back probably two, three, four, 5 times because you was moving so fast. So yeah, I will say the slow down, if you will.
Mhm.
I'm that started with the pandemic, then translated into yoga teacher training, like you said, took advantage of all of those discounted and all those different things. I was just like, yeah, sign me up, log me in. Amazon card is full with all the requirements. Let's go.
Exactly.
Let's go. So,
Man.
yeah.
So then I want to go back to 2018 then. What in that year made you think, "Yes, I'm going to try yoga now?"
So my mama, truly. I definitely would, like a lot of us, right? I struggle with some childhood stuff. My parents are divorced, and that is crazy. At a young age, and I'm the oldest of two, so now I have a little brother. Oh,
Well,
yes.
oldest of three, but yeah, me
Yes. And so, do
too.
you have a little brother
Little
too?
brother, little sister.
Okay, yeah, so you get it. Like, so that's the thing. And being that young, that's the thing. So, I think I got to a point when I was because I am about to turn 30 in a couple weeks, but I was turning 25 that around that time. And I had like a shift of like, all right, what's it going to be? Are we going to keep being mad? Are we going to keep, smashing things and blowing your life up? Or we going to switch it around? And I heavily, heavily credit my mama for finding yoga for me. She I don't even know how she came upon. I don't even know. I just one day she sent me a local yoga studio, and I was like, okay, let's go. And we started doing yoga together. And then I just kept going. I just didn't stop. I was just like, oh, this is like saving my life here. And she still practices with me now. She didn't get her certification and stuff, but I wouldn't put it past her if she does at some point, because the girl, she is amazing. But I really do credit her for the yoga. And then once I got there, I started my yoga life at Shabak Yoga in Waldorf, Maryland. So shout out to Miss Courtenay. She is amazing, and she is wonderful. I came there thinking it was a physical challenge, if you will. And by consistently going, I realized like this is more than just a physical practice. Like I
Oh
am
yeah.
deepening my breath here first. And then based
Mm-hmm.
off of that, I'm able to listen to like what's happening inside, feel more what's happening inside. And that was it from there. I continued to go into classes, and then she offered Reiki. I'm Reiki level 2 trained as well, so I went just up to 2. I haven't gotten master certified, but just that part of it, I was like, oh yeah, this. I'm an emotional being. I'm an empath. I've been feeling this all my life, and this is helping me realize that you weren't tripping. You just didn't have the right tools yet. Like
Ooh.
so. That was a moment. That was a moment for me then, and so we just kept going, and then um yeah, then 2020 happened, and then it was like, all right, sign me up. Let's finish this off.
That is
Yeah.
amazing. So much of your story, I feel like I'm looking in a mirror,
Yeah.
because I
Oh,
had a lot of the same stuff going on.
yeah.
My mom also kind of lit that fire in me. She
Mhm.
invited me to a class with her, and that class changed my perspective of yoga forever.
Mhm.
Because I had, kind of dibble dabbled in it a
Yeah.
little bit
Yeah.
here and
Yeah.
there in other places, and I hated it. And it was a gym class thing at one point, and I was just like, I don't know what the hell is going on. What are these people talking about on this DVD? And it was that one class where I bawled my face off
Yes.
during shavasana, because
Mhm.
it was a hot yoga class, and they put a cool towel over our eyes.
Mhm.
And I the theme of the class was, it was a um, memorial class for a person in our community that had been murdered. And
Mm.
so it was already kind of an emotionally charged moment,
Mhm.
but I was going through so much at the time, and then having that emotion there too, and just laying there, finally getting a moment to be in communication with myself. I was underneath that towel. Thank goodness it was there, just tears streaming. Like,
Yeah.
thank goodness for this towel to absorb all of this water coming out of my face, because oh my goodness, I
Mhm.
did not know I was holding on to stuff that hard that I needed that big of a release. And it was from then on that I'm just like, I'm never stopping this. Like, I have to do this all the time. The physical stuff definitely kept me like intrigued and interested, but I knew I was getting something so much more
Mhm.
than, the physical fun.
Yeah.
Because I felt so much more clear-headed. I was, feeling my emotions in real time rather than trying to pack them away. And that's something I'm always working on, but it's because of yoga that I can still keep myself open and
Yeah.
not build those walls and build those dams from within myself, and then all of a sudden have it erupting out of nowhere, because
Yeah.
that ain't healthy.
Mm-mm.
That is not healthy at all. But yeah, I'm very much similar in that respect, where it saved me in so many ways because I was on a course for self destruction quickly.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like it's, and it's a moment, and yeah, I very much agree, and I appreciate what you mentioned too about, the physical practice, kept you interested, but it was definitely so much more because I think,
Yeah.
uh, not that it's at all bad, but I think that's usually what people, when you hear yoga, they hit a tree or they hit a warrior two, and it's like boom.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that's great. That is totally fine. But some days I'm not physically practicing. Some days I just need to sit and I just
Yep.
need to breathe, and then I need to write it out, and then maybe I need to cry. And that all counts too. So it's more than just the physical practice. Way more. Yeah.
Exactly. Man, because lately my practice has not been physical at all. It has
Ditto.
been so much more of me in meditation. I'll do it, just before I get out. Even before I get out of bed, I'll just lay there and I won't be asleep.
Hmm.
I won't be awake, but I'll just stay in that, because for me, it's better for me to do it in that period of time, because otherwise my mind will get in the way. And even
Right.
though the meditation is a practice for listening to that chatter a little bit more, mine's real loud and talks real fast. So I need for it to still be during that time where it's still slowly progressing into the thoughts and, the things that, tend to chatter too much.
Yes.
Um, but man, I haven't touched a mat in weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that happens.
weeks.
And that's real too, right? Like that is, I think that's also a misconception, especially as teachers. It's like, oh yeah, I'm waking up first thing in the morning. I'm totally hopping on my mat and we're breathing for a little while. We're hitting a couple pet cows. We're like going through a whole sun's A, and then we're done. No, like that's not me. That's not how that's not how
No,
and
look,
that's
folks.
important. Yeah, that's
I'm very
important
much the
to
same.
yeah, because it counts, and it can't always be physical, because
Hmm.
I mean you'll get the benefits, you'll look great, but then you'll still be like kind of hollow in there, and
Yes.
people want to. That's the funny thing, interesting thing. Not everyone got to mind your circles and things, but once you start talking, people are like, oh, me too, let's be friends. And then like that's how
Hmm.
me and Leah connected. Honestly, it's a beautiful thing the vulnerability does to bring people together. It's like, I don't know, but I guess I in a previous life I was always told to kind of like tough it through, don't talk about it, like just keep going, if you
Yeah.
will. And it's like, no, pause, cry,
Mm-mm.
talk.
Exactly. Yeah. I was, I don't know if it was something that was told to me often or just something I did on my own, but I just never felt like it was okay to
Yeah.
show emotion,
Mhm.
um, or even talk about it.
Yeah.
So in the moments where I would cry, I'm like, oh my God, the world is ending. Like, because I'm
Yeah.
feeling like, what?
Right.
Like, this isn't supposed to be happening.
Yeah.
But now that I'm, older now, I'm knocking on 40's door, and I've never felt so open in my life, or at
Mm.
least okay with the vulnerability.
Yeah.
Because it's challenging for
Oh yeah.
sure
Oh
to
yeah.
allow yourself to be vulnerable, because so many will see that as a weakness,
Mm-hmm.
quote unquote. But if you want to consider me weak, that's fine. I'm gonna cry.
Definitely. And
If
you're
you
like,
made me mad, I'm gonna cry. If you made me sad, I'm gonna cry. If I'm happy, I'm gonna cry.
yeah.
Usually that's how my emotions will erupt, is I will cry about
Yeah.
it. But
Definitely.
it's necessary, and it means different things, and if I don't let it out, if I'm holding it in, that's me damaging myself from the inside, and I'm not about that life
No.
anymore.
No. Because where did it lead me? It led me, I mean, gratefully, it led me to yoga. That's great.
Yeah.
Like that's great. But yeah, I agree with you. It's that crying thing. I've definitely been learning in the later half arriving is into this new decade that, like you said, if I'm happy, I'm gonna cry. If I'm tired, I'm gonna cry. If I'm overwhelmed, I'm gonna cry. If I just got out of a crazy meeting, I'm gonna cry. Like I'm just
Yes.
gonna cry. And it because that's my normal body's reaction to my emotions. And how dare I neglect myself from feeling. Like, yeah, I
Yes.
am, yeah, definitely. And like you said, if you can't handle it, if you think I'm just an overcrier, if you're like, well, don't tell Leah things because she's gonna cry. Well, then pack your tissues, honey. Let's get it. Let's do it.
Right? I like that. Pack your tissue.
Yes, because you're gonna cry. Yeah,
Exactly.
agree. I agree. I agree. Yeah, that's it's
Oh,
really funny. It's a funny way of life, I tell you. It's interesting.
yeah. But I'm grateful to be here now. Because I don't know if I would have been without the practice.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. Yeah, and the community is good. I know majority of this community. I will say I am very excited and happy to have found um other Black yogis, because that is I didn't I guess I didn't know. You don't know what you don't know. Of course, like you said, we've all heard of yoga prior to actually being in it, but I didn't know how skewed it was until I was in it and like searching for like, oh, okay. So it's
Where
like,
we at? Yeah.
yeah, it's like, oh, okay. So we're just getting into, we're not just getting, but we're trying to get more into it. Because I think it's also too for our community. I don't know if you've experienced this too, but I feel like it's like just a lot of generational of folks in as well. And so that's also interesting too, talking to folks who've
Yeah.
been in it for a long time, and they see us as like newbies coming in trying to do fancy stuff. And then, but I mean, I am like, please teach me all the different ways and all the different things, please pour in. But I get it though. It's more of, it's kind of like a fad trend thing, or can
Hmm.
be, if you will. And so I think that kind of just invites a whole different crowd into the mix.
Oh, yeah. Because it was something that you had brought up too about the asana portion of it. Like, yeah, the asana definitely is enticing and fun, but I think
Mhm.
a lot of folks get stuck there.
Yes, they do.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think a lot of folks get stuck there. And there's nothing wrong with that. If asana is serving you in the way that it needs to, absolutely go for it. You take that class, you come out feeling like $1,000,000 and you come right back. Whatever
Yeah.
you need to do, because at some point I know that the essence of it is doing what it needs to do, because that's what the asanas are designed for. They're designed for not only the strengthening of the body, for the meditation portion of it, but to unleash a lot of that physical stuff that gets locked away.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I'll never shame anybody for it, but I'm like, but you can definitely dig a little deeper if you would like to try. And I
Yeah.
encourage you to try because it's so worth it. The part you said about, the generations and whatnot, and the different demographics of this practice,
Mhm.
it's that did bring up something, because I realize there are a lot of us that
Mhm.
were practicing yoga but in secret.
Yes.
And
Yes. Mhm.
so that next generation after them didn't see that stuff happening. So it wasn't necessarily something that they passed on to us as
Mhm.
that or the generation after that one.
Mhm.
So now that we're all kind of like, oh no, we're not doing this again. We're all out here, being so much brighter about it and in front of people about it, that I understand how it does seem like a fad or a trend, but I think it's really just us reclaiming something that was lost
Mhm.
at some point, because of the fact that there wasn't acceptance of people looking like us doing things like that in the mainstream space.
Yeah.
But it's still a problem, which is why we are here today.
Yes. Yes.
I'm like, fuck that shit. Nope. Mm-mm. Nope. We're busting the doors wide open. You're going to see that we are here not only practicing, but teaching, leading
Yes.
spaces, and creating spaces for other people to experience.
Absolutely. I think it's
So, oh, I'm
yeah.
sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it's just very much needed. It's just across the board needed. We need our own spaces in all the little pockets. This one included, very much so.
Hmm. So, I was going to have you tell me about the space that you've created. I see TLC yoga above your head. Tell me more about that.
Yeah. So, um, as I was doing my teacher training, I started teaching my family and their friends, my friends, just practice classes virtually because in a previous life, and still a little bit now, I'm an overachiever. And so, of course, I need to practice as soon as I learn something right now. And so I need to gather people to like practice those things. So for me, it was practicing what I'm learning. For them, it was like, so when's the next class? Because I need this. And it just kept happening. Like I gathered like a couple small group. Well, at first it was like my mom, my brother. Then it was like, oh, my aunties want to join. Oh, my granny wants to join. Oh, my boo wants to join. Like, and then it just grew. And so then it became a point of like, now I'm sending out like if you will Canva created schedules of these free classes, these training classes I'm doing weekly. It went from one class to two class to three classes because they just couldn't get enough. I mean, it was really fun. It was a fantastic way to keep us together and engaged, but also like have fun. Because one thing I do on this mat is I have a good time. I can't help it. I can't take life that serious. I'm a goofball. And so, like, we're going to get the work, we're going to get our yoga, but we're going to have some fun within it. So, that is how TLC yoga, Truth, Love, Courage yoga started. And then I got some more refinement post teacher training. I took a couple courses, business training wise, to kind of refine it a little bit more, realize that what I'm doing is, a business, if you will. Wow.
Yeah.
And it's fun. And it's fun. Who knew type of thing. So I'm actually coming up on the 1 year of my LLC, Truth, Love, Courage LLC, next month. I purposely did
Yay.
it in my birthday month so that I could celebrate every year just like that. But it's been a great year of learning and growing with people virtually in the comfort of their own homes. Of course, I can do in person. Of course, I can, rent a space and come to you. I also like come to businesses or come to you personally, group sessions, private sessions, things like that. But something about being here in this studio and everyone else being in their studios, man, they talk, they have fun, they laugh, they do the work because they're comfortable. And I know there's a lot of different places that we can go like to practice yoga, but I think
Yeah.
what makes this so important for me is that you're in your own space. You have to do
Mm-hmm.
minimal traffic, literally and physically, to just open up your laptop and
Mm-hmm.
go. And when you're finished, you're in your own space. So if you need extra time,
Yeah.
what I love, if you need extra time in your shavasana, oh my gosh, just sit there. You home. You good. Everything's good. And what I do is like, if I notice that too, I'll just gently just end the Zoom. I'll just say to everyone, see you guys next time. Have a blissful evening. Like just kind of just let people be comfortable. And that's
Yes.
what yoga is for me. Me being comfortable in my own skin. So I'm trying to share that with the masses, if you will. So yeah, that is. I don't know if I answered everything, but yes, that is TLC.
That gave me the greatest insight on it. Thank you so much for sharing that. So, because we talked about this a little bit before we started recording, but I would love for you to provide a little bit of a behind the scenes look of what it's like to curate a virtual yoga space.
Oh yes. Okay. So I start, well, this space I behind me, I have like my yoga mat is behind me as well. It's a little purple mat matches. And what has to happen is usually I keep this space just open and clear. So this is like my whole lounge. I mean, like
Mm-hmm.
I this is my also my personal space too, like my room in the house, if you will. So I make sure I don't put extra things in here that would cloud the
Mm-hmm.
space, cloud the room. That could be extra clothes, 'cause who doesn't love our clothes? But just if they are in here, just trying to like make sure it's in a space and it's tidy. That I try to keep it clean and so that my space doesn't reflect how I am mentally. Or if it is like that, then mentally that I know that okay, something's wrong. We need to sit in space and breathe, and so that's a good space too. So I do have my mom helps me a lot as she's my executive officer. She will start the Zoom and we will have like just a little welcome message. We're going to get started in just a few minutes. And then I will turn my camera on and we will start the Zoom. I offer folks to either leave their camera off or turn their camera on, however is most comfortable. And then just so that everyone can have a seamless class, I just ask that everyone mute, or I'm able, or my mom is able to mute everyone. That's key for a virtual class. I will say that.
Whew,
Because
very.
it's different too. Because in person, you want to hear the breath, if you will. You know what I'm saying? You want to hear. It creates community. It creates like a moment in the
Yes.
room, if you will. But virtually, I will say I do miss that aspect just a little bit. And I have workshops to kind of compensate for that, where we are not on mute all the time, and then when we do our breathing exercise, we can all hear our breath and we can all kind of synchronize a little bit. But that's important with that. And for me, I have to make sure, camera wise, logistically, right now I have my camera set up to be right above me because I'm seated on my little bolster
Mm-hmm.
for like interview purposes. However, for class, this has to be pushed back a little bit because I got to make sure you can see me fully and also see me on the ground. So I would say now it's down to a science. Like I kind of get where I need to be. I understand where music is another thing. Thankfully, I have a very talented brother who creates and makes my own beats. So I have a Truth, Love, Courage curated playlist that I'm able to play because otherwise I would get in trouble with copyright things. So I'm
True.
blessed that he already knows how to do that, and we did that, and so I get to just play my own thing. That's a
Wow.
big thing.
Big
But even
blessing.
that helps too to kind of like bring the
Yeah.
ambiance and kind of create this like calm, serene place. Yeah, definitely. So
I
yeah, that
love
is
that.
here. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to
Yeah, I'm
join in on one of
excited.
these.
Yes, they're
Yes.
all free. They're definitely donation based, however, or nothing at all. You can just totally just come and just enjoy yourself. Um, they're on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. They're Thursdays at 7:30, and Saturday mornings at 10 a.m.
And
Um,
is this Eastern time?
yes, this is all Eastern
Okay.
time. Yes, good point. Yes, because I
That's
have to
perfect.
remind myself of that when I'm posting it too.
No, I was asking for me because I'm in
Yeah, oh,
Central. So I'm like, let me make sure I'm off work so I can.
yes, I love it. Yes, definitely. I would love to have you. I will say Saturday is a more active flow. I have this thing where after we do a standing pose in which we're balancing for a while, we dance it out. So if you've seen that on my feed, that's where that comes from. This what a t-shirt is. We dance it out. And that kind of
Yeah.
translates to me and life, if you will, because you're going to probably have to balance some stuff and it's going to feel
Hmm.
awkward and it's going to just grow you, if you will, if we're doing tree, for example, right? But after you're done, after you overcome it, you go ahead and dance it out, okay? You go ahead and shake it because you did it. Like, why not? So that's Saturday. Thursdays is a 30-minute breathing session. We sit, you cuddle in your blanket on your mat, we just breathe. That's it.
Mm.
3 or 4 breathing exercises. That's it. Maybe we rotate our wrist or something. That's it. Really minimal. And then Tuesdays are a restorative ish class. You can have props. You don't have to have props, but we just stretch total body, upper body, neck and shoulders.
Mm.
Come on down to stretching out the legs, side body twists, all that type of stuff. So
You're speaking
yeah,
to my heart.
yeah, that's. that's my type of yoga. Okay, that's what I
Yeah.
like. That's what I like to do. So that's what I
No,
teach.
I am very much in the same boat with you. I love that you're providing something so well rounded because you're giving folks the experience to relax in the practice, to
Yeah.
breathe, and
Hmm.
if you want a little bit of activity, you've got a day for that too.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Very
beautiful.
good.
I love the variety.
Thank
Oh
you.
yeah, I'm definitely tuning in. Yeah, that's been my challenge lately is I've been wanting to get to other classes, but in the Dallas area, things are so spread out. And by the time I get off work, it's rush hour. I ain't got time to get nowhere. And it's just hectic. Or I'm just too tired to leave my home. And
Definitely understood.
so, what you were talking about, the benefit of creating this virtual space for folks is allowing them to be in the comfort of their own home. I'm like, that's exactly what I need.
Yeah.
It's exactly what I need right now in this space and time. I need something that'll allow me to be here because that's where I can recharge better.
Yes.
Because I'm already here anyway. Getting outside is like an extra hassle. Like, it's stressing me out, and I'm already tired from this workday. Let me just find something that's very low maintenance. Is that the
Yeah.
word I'm looking for?
There we go. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So I love that. Yeah. And I was just thinking about the fact that since you started your teaching path through this pandemic situation, you entered the yoga teaching space at a time where everything started to shift and look different.
Yes.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
largely, it was the age of the studio
Mhm.
before, the
Yeah.
pandemic. And now it's kind of a combination of the two, and studios that I, in my opinion, studios that do really well offer both.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, right? Yeah.
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 Yeah, exactly. Like recently anyway, now studios that do well, or at least are on the rise, are offering both.
Hmm.
Of course, there were those folks that were, eager to get back into any studio space that they could, and those are still doing well. But if they don't offer virtual, I'm not as inclined to participate along with, because I want to be able to not only practice it for myself whenever I can,
Right.
and if I can't make it, but
Yeah.
also as an instructor, I want to be able to reach those that aren't able to come inside,
Yeah.
because unfortunately, it was something that I was not um, alert to,
Hmm.
of the accessibility of yoga.
Yeah.
Um, and then when there was that push for virtual yoga to be offered, I realized, oh, wait a minute, we have been completely alienating a community of people that cannot, for whatever reason, come to a studio. Pandemic be damned.
Hmm. Yeah. And who knew though? Like I think that's
Yeah,
also like you like you know what you don't know what you don't know type of thing.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting that you mentioned that I during my teacher training I wasn't able to do in studio teaching as frequently due to the pandemic, and also my boo's mom was um, just had some health challenges that were not that made it harder for me to come and teach. So that's also
Yeah,
kind of what fueled this too. It was like, well, I need to practice, but I can't practice in the same way that my other cohort sisters are. Um, but then who knew that that was going to be something, because my home studio didn't offer it virtually until this time actually, and
hmm,
then it kind of went away for a little while, but I think she brought it back because I think you said like it you kind of lose the folks who for whatever reason just cannot, or don't, not even just can't, just don't
yeah,
want to. And because I'm like that, I just don't want
yeah,
to after a day, because classes are usually in the evening. I just don't want to go somewhere else that day. I just don't. But I could walk to go get my mat and roll it out and go do something, virtually type of
Exactly.
thing.
Just flap it out right on the floor, just over there, and it's so much easier.
Yes, it is. It
Yes.
really is. And I will say, like, especially teaching virtually, I out for the flip side of it, I have to in this year find better ways to engage in person because
Hmm.
now I'm hearing the part that you would get normally in person. It's like I'm missing flowing with people. I enjoy this
Yeah.
community, but I would love to flow with these people or be with these people in person. And so that's challenging me to be like, all right, you got to figure it out, like do something else. And it
Yeah.
doesn't have to mean that like I need to go search for a studio now and rent it out and just host. It doesn't need to be all that. It could just be different creative ways that I can host
Right.
classes in person, outside or inside, um, for the community type of thing. So I appreciate that's what this yoga does, is that it never lets me be stagnant. It helps me keep going, keep
Man,
learning, keep growing all the time.
say that again. It does not allow for stagnation at all. No matter how still you think you're being,
Mhm.
nope. There's still so much moving and shaking inside.
Yeah.
Man, I love that. I can totally see you offering something either on like a monthly or twice a month basis in
Yes.
person. I think
That's what
that
I'm
would be
trying to do.
dope.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
I really, and I also want to, I think it's kind of good to not have like a brick and mortar, if you will, because I can like pop
Yes.
up anywhere
That
virtually, if you will.
see,
Like I can kind of pop up, if you will.
we here with it. We here with it because I'm in the same boat. Because I've done the studio thing,
Mhm,
and I've taught at a designated place,
mhm.
but I love being able to host a pop up
Right.
wherever. The challenge for me right now is finding locations to do so and try to make something that's a little bit more. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know why stable keeps coming up, but that's not the word I want. Consistent.
Consistent. Yes.
Yeah. But I do want that ability for folks to have the ability to practice in different areas. Because, I mean, you're in the DMV area, and I'm pretty sure it's, pretty vast amount of space,
Yes.
and there's pockets of communities here,
Yes. Yeah.
and I want to be able to offer something that's convenient to everybody, again
Yes.
making it as accessible as possible.
Yes.
um because a lot of times folks will be like, well, I'm not driving all the way so and so, and I'm like, I understand, because I don't either. I
Right.
don't
You
like,
can't argue
I
with
don't
it.
blame
Yeah.
you. I don't want to do that either, so I'm going to try to find a way to bring it to you any way that I can, whether it's in your home or if we need to go to your hood.
Yes. I
That's
agree with that.
whatever.
I think I will say that's one reason why Leah and I connected, is we are very, I don't want to say serious, but kind of serious about letting people or making people understand that like it's accessible for you however you want it to be. It doesn't even have to cost anything, like, or it can be like nominal cost, like whatever type of thing. It does not have to be this huge task. It just is breathing and stretching. Like, let's just get to your
Yes.
breath and let's just raise your arms a little bit. That's that, what I'm saying? That's that
Right.
I think that um people need to hear that more. They need to hear it in layman's terms more. Like, no, we're not going to throw you in headstand. I mean, if that's in your practice, you go for it. That's amazing.
Exactly.
It's not in mine. I'll tell you that it's not. But maybe one day it will be. But like, it's just not. It doesn't have to be um, so so stiff, and it can, if we open it up, it can be more accessible to everyone, even virtually type of thing or in
Yes.
person. Yeah, I agree.
Ah.
It's the conversations Leah and I have, I tell you, it's whew,
Oh,
we be trying.
I know they're just absolute magic, and you guys are probably brainstorming all types of crazy, cool, amazing things. Because,
Yeah.
like the things that she has going on with the kids, and I'm like, oh goodness, yes, keep doing everything that you're doing, and don't ever stop because it's needed. But you brought up such a great point about the preconceived notions about what yoga is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how, like, and I don't think I'll ever stop hearing people say, well, I'm not flexible enough, or
Yeah.
I don't have what I need to lose some weight before I do this.
Hmm.
And I'm like, what, for what? What do you think is happening in this class? Have you experienced it yet? I'm gonna need you to come here so you can see
Hmm.
what it really is. Because if you want to go to the class that twists you up like a pretzel and throws you upside down, that is available. But
Yes.
there are other things that are available to you as well.
Yes.
If you want to do a class that's strictly just meditation, that's a yoga class. If
Yes.
you want to go to a class where you are laying in blankets and pillows all the time, that's a yoga class. If
Yes.
you want to go to the class that's got you with your leg behind your head and in all types of hand balances and whatnot, that's a yoga class too.
Yeah.
They're all yoga, and it's just finding which one suits you instead of thinking that there's only one way to do it,
Agreed.
because that ain't right. That ain't right at
Definitely.
all.
Definitely.
Oh,
I agree.
which again is why I love that you provide such a variety in your virtual classes, because it's necessary for folks to see so many of the different aspects of what yoga is outside of the physical part of it.
Agreed. And I think that part is like what you mentioned about being able to um uh, being able to be flexible as teachers too, or versatile is more so. But versatile,
Yeah.
that's more so the word, because hopefully she won't get mad. But even yesterday I was in with a workshop with my mom, and we were in the middle of a yoga class and a session, and she was just having some knee sensitivity. On the spot I had to figure out, okay, we were having a whole lot of stuff that we were doing here. Let me figure out how we can do a flow on the ground. Let me figure out how we can do the
Yes.
same things we're going to do in the, and not in the air, but but standing on the
Yeah.
ground. And I think, and she at the end of it was like, I am so thankful that you were able to like switch that up for me. I didn't know like what was going to happen, but I credit this craft, this amazing work of yoga, that it's a tug and pull on you as the instructor, and also on your
Mm-hmm.
students, on your yogis too, because
Mm-hmm.
of course she could have, like, not offered herself grace and just kept pushing through, and then what, she'd be hurt, but
Yeah.
her offering that grace and that vulnerability helped me to realize and remember, like, you know how to do this, like, you know how to get
Mm-hmm.
this together, so figure it out. So I love that. I love that it is if you allow it to, if you embrace it, it can continue to challenge you. um yeah.
Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
love that. Yeah. Being able to provide modifications on the fly. Man, I wish I'm seeing it more now with the level of trauma informed yoga and accessible yoga
Mhm.
that's being brought into the mainstream and in trainings. But it wasn't something that was always considered. Not to mention, my background is in Ashtanga.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
that's a real disciplined practice where the
Yeah.
instructor's likely like pushing you into the posture. And I'm like, I don't have it today. Like, hold on a minute. I know that you know that I'm capable, kind of, but not today. I need a
Yes.
modification today. And that
Yes.
practice doesn't always allow for it. But because it was
Right.
popular at the time, I think that that ability for folks to be accommodated kind of went away because everyone was chasing this aesthetic that Ashtanga brought.
Yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
the strength, the upside down stuff, the flexibility, the sheer sweat, and all of that.
Mhm.
And it's just like,
Mhm.
yeah, no, I need to take a chill because I got back
Mhm.
problems, I got knee problems and ankle problems. This ain't working for me today.
Yes. It's like, where is the child's pose, please?
Thank you. Thank you. Because I don't know how many times I would go to Mysore and I would get through about half of the sequence, and I'd be at a point where I'm like, and this is my stopping point today. And then I'd
Mhm.
have the some folks looking. I'm like, are you done already? And I'm like, yep, yeah, I'm done.
Mhm.
That's it. I'm honoring what's going on inside of me, and me said no.
Yep. Exclamation point.
Yep, me said no. So nope, we gotta honor her because
Yeah.
I'm not trying to push myself because I've been there, done that, hurt myself,
Mm-hmm.
and not doing that again.
Exactly.
All it took was that one injury for me to be like, hey, sit your ass down. Like, what
Yeah,
are you doing? This is not what
definitely.
this is intended to do. This shouldn't be hurting you.
Yeah, definitely. And yoga
Yeah.
injuries are, I mean, I don't know, I definitely have played field hockey, so that I've damaged some things and I was a cheerleader. So like that, but I don't know. Yoga
Me
injuries are
too.
different. Oh, yeah, see, it was I also danced. So I feel like my life was always leading me to yoga. And when I think about it type of thing, I was always going to wind up here. So that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I have I don't know what I did. I think in training, just overexertion. I have
Mm.
a shoulder. Sometimes my shoulder gets inflamed if I'm doing like too many, I don't know, like too many planks, or if I'm just
Yeah.
kind of running through it or something like that. Yeah, it that takes a while to like recover from. So I totally get it. You cannot just be pushing yourself, because if you do hurt yourself, it's not like, oh, just put a band-aid on it. No, you can't
Mm-mm.
do
There's
stuff
a
for a
recovery
while.
period.
Yes.
Yes. Yep. Because I
Definitely.
have pulled hamstrings in both legs
Oh
doing stuff I
man.
shouldn't have been doing in
Yeah.
yoga
Yeah.
because I was in my ego and not
Mhm.
in my body.
Yes.
And oh, the length of time it took for those to heal. Oh my goodness.
It's
It
very
was crazy ridiculous. Like my practice shifted so much. It was that first hamstring injury that really kind of like opened my eyes and was like, what are you doing?
mm-hmm.
Is this really what you're here for? Because if that
Mm-hmm.
is, you're going to keep feeling these things and you don't
Mm.
like it. And
Yeah.
because it forced me to stop and slow down, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I think I do like this slower pace, this more intentional pace, much better than what I was trying to force myself into.
Yes.
And
And yeah.
again, another lesson that yoga has taught me inadvertently was you need to listen to yourself. You need to
Yes.
listen to the environment around you and understand if that is a place for you. And if it is not causing you, or if it's causing you harm, then it is not the place for you to be.
Correct. And also, like
Man.
you mentioned, with like showing yourself grace, because like you said,
Mm,
one day you're in a session and yeah, you can do it, but the other day, like, no. And that's okay too. I know that's easier said than
yes.
done, because I be standing in my tree on this mat like, now I know the other day this was better. What we
I
doing
was
today?
rooted.
Like, what you wobbly, you can't hold it for long. What's happening? And every time after I, get a little frustrated, I have to be like, you know what, it's okay. Like, it's okay, because that's life. Like, yes, you do this thing all the time.
Yes.
Yes, you are a yoga teacher. Yes, okay, cool. But yes, your body is just not here. Don't you wake up some days and you're just tired, even though you went to sleep at 9 o'clock? Don't you still wake up sometimes and you're just tired? It's okay. Like,
Mm.
yeah, the physical things can be okay, then you gotta let that emotional, whatever's happening stuff, be okay too. Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
another yoga lesson.
absolutely. They keep coming. They never stop. Never stop. And it's not always while you're on the mat or even in meditation. Sometimes that epiphany happens where you're like, oh shit,
Yeah.
I'm just cooking. And
Yeah,
then here it comes.
definitely. It's like, oh, right. Okay.
Yep. I love it. But I love the ability to be more introspective because, again, like just circling right back to the beginning of our conversation, is just there was so much that I was hiding from. And now it's like, nope, you can't hide from that. We're gonna unpack that. We're gonna see what that's about and work through it so that way you can continue on with life without feeling like you're being held back by something from the past.
Yes. Because it it'll keep showing up if you try
Mm.
to run away from it. And I'm talking to myself really right now. Honestly, I'm just out loud had to say it, because that's real. Like, if you keep running from it,
Yes.
it may not show up the same, but it'll show up. You'll be
But
like,
it's gonna show up again, yeah. And it may not be the same if even if it's like attached to a person, it's not gonna be the same person. It might be a different person teaching
mm-hmm,
you the same lesson over and over again.
mm-hmm. It's like, why?
Yep.
Why? But yeah, that's this, and that's why it's a journey, right? I will say, I think I've said this to, I think a lot of people in my classes and stuff. Like this stuff, if you're taking classes with me, you're gonna grow with me because as I grow, I'm going. My teaching is gonna grow, which means inevitably, you'll grow. But also, um, it is a lifelong journey. So there is no like by the end of August, we need to be through chapter 5. Like there is no, like no timeline type of thing. And that's the best part because I think with a lot of other stuff, you do have deadlines and you do have this got to be sent by this time and you got to get this by that time and you got to check this box by that time or whatever. But yoga is like the first thing, dare I say, in my world that's been like, okay, like sure, you can take a month or two off and do nothing if that's what you want. But month 3, come on, let's figure out what other thing we can continue to grow and learn about because there's so
Yes.
much. There's so much.
Whew, man.
This is
You
serious.
are dope as hell.
Oh
You
my gosh,
are
no, you
dope as
are dope
hell.
as hell. Oh my gosh. I feel like I just be rapping and talking and I overwhelm people a lot. So I'm very sorry if I've done that here,
No.
but
Not at
yeah.
all. Not at all. Because I mean, you said before we had a lot to say before we started recording. Even though it wasn't that long, you said I'm excited. I get to talk about something I love, and I'm like, oh, we are in the right space because
Yes,
I love this shit too.
yes.
Yes,
It's
so
the
I
best
am all
topic.
for it.
It's the best
Yeah,
topic, man. Like, and I get it. It's not for everyone. I get it. But man, for those it's for, oh, it makes me feel better. I think I was even saying to you, like, I'm having a morning, but I'm about to talk about it, so it's gonna be okay. And I feel better. Like I feel
yes.
better.
Immediately better. Immediately better. I'm like, all I need is my smoothie and this conversation, and we good.
Yeah. Listen, that's all that's needed sometimes. And this is yoga, Just
Exactly.
to circle everything back here. I tell you. this has been this has been what I needed. I did not know that I actually needed to, and that's the thing. Sometimes you just don't know what it is that you need, but sometimes talking it out, talking it through, and just
Yes.
connecting with folks who are incredible and dope as hell is all you need. It's a beautiful time.
Absolutely. I've been distracted this whole time by your earrings. Can you tell me a little bit more
Oh,
about them?
yes. So these earrings are from House of Adonis Blue. She's also here in the Steam area, but I'm pretty sure she ships everywhere. They are crown chakra earrings. So for my
Ooh.
yoga classes, I focus on the 7 main chakras and also like color therapy, if you will, kind of work it together. And
Yeah.
so the crown chakra, connected to the divine and connected to truth as well. And also, my purple is my favorite color. Hence, a lot of see. I think I really wanted to have these earrings be something I wear as a staple a lot because I am very much connected to God. God is my source, and but then also I am a truth teller. I'm working on my delivery and my direction sometimes, but if it ain't right, I'm the person that's gonna be like, so can we pause this for a second and let's talk about
Yeah.
it. Let's talk about it. Yeah. I can't help it. I can't help it. It's just, yeah, I
When's your
got
birthday?
June 3rd. June 3rd. It's in a couple weeks.
Oh,
So yes, I
yeah.
am. I
Happy
am
early
a Gemini.
birthday.
Thank you. Thank you. I wouldn't say
Well,
believe what they say
see,
about the Geminis, but
look, my moon is in Gemini, and I understand.
golly, so much. We
Yeah.
just misunderstood. That's what it is. It's a
Yeah.
misunderstanding of things. When's your birthday?
April 13th. So I'm an Aries
Oh,
sun.
yes.
So yeah, those two together, it's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Definitely, definitely. Well, happy belated birthday. Yes,
Thank you.
definitely.
And happy
Um,
early birthday to you.
thank you, thank you. This is 30, so whew, I guess.
It's exciting. It
It
really
is,
is.
but it is like, whoo, it's the new decade. It's like I got used to
Yeah.
the 20s and it's like, okay, 20 something. And now it's like, no. 30.
What does life look like at the 30s stage?
Yes.
But really, it can be whatever you want at this point because you've lived enough to have experience now
Yeah.
and learn some things. So you're able to operate in a more intentional manner rather than I'm flying by the seat of my pants or still, dependent on my parents or, or
Right.
still in school of some sort. And it's
Yeah.
like now you're really out here on your own, having, experience under your belt and able to freely do what you want,
That
choose
is
what you
very
want.
valid. That is very
Yeah.
valid. And I thank you. I received that because you are absolutely right. There have already been a lot of life experiences, and so now it's just moving
Hmm.
through more of life experiences, but with the wisdom, and
Yes.
you know, yeah, the trial and error, if you will,
Yeah. And that's
of
always
going
going to be
through.
there.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I feel like you're
But
not
yeah,
living if you're not trial and error. I mean, honestly.
exactly. But you nailed it like perfectly. You have a little bit more wisdom on
Yeah.
you now. So
Mhm.
it's easier to navigate some of these things as you go through these trial and error periods
Mhm.
because you're not necessarily, well, we'll just see how this goes. I don't know what's happening, but then you've like, well, hold on. I think I have something in the memory bank that,
Right.
resembles this situation and I can understand how to move through it rather than just ramming my head into until I
Yes,
maybe finally break through it and
definitely.
realize, oh, I probably should have had a jackhammer instead of my head.
Yeah, definitely. And also I want to say like connecting with you and like folks that are like you, I tell you, it really helps me see the other side of it. Like it's gonna be okay. Like just keep going. Like
Yeah,
people do get you. People have been through what you've been through or something similar. No, you're not crazy. No, you're not
not
tripping.
at all.
Like just you're finding your people along your journey too, and like just keep them close, and like yeah, that's important. So that's my way of saying I'm going to keep you close here right now, definitely, because yeah, you're amazing, you're incredible, you're very
Thank
easy to
you.
talk to and very easygoing, and you have a lot of wisdom, like incredibly, like crazy.
Thank you. I have, I'll be wondering some days. But
Don't you have it? Don't I get that though? I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. They're like, what is happening? What's going on?
yeah,
Yeah,
but sometimes it just takes us a little bit longer to see what others see because we're close.
yeah,
We're way too close to the picture. We don't necessarily see all of it. So when
yeah,
it comes to certain things about ourselves, sometimes it does take someone else's perspective for you to think like, oh wait, hold up, that could be a way that I'm being perceived. Huh? Nice. All
yeah.
right, I'll go with that.
Yeah. And like, ouch, that's things, but okay. Like, it's
Yeah,
important to know too. Like, yeah, that
yeah.
part, that part. Not everyone is out to get you. Some people really just want to help you.
Thank you. Or at least just make you aware of the things that you may be doing that you're not necessarily, aware of.
Yes.
Because
Because you're right. Like
I
you
know,
said, it's
like,
close. Yeah.
yeah, because I'm an Aries/Gemini.
Hmm.
I know I come off hot,
Yeah. Yeah.
like, or a lot. I get
Hmm.
it. And sometimes I just need for folks to say, hey, yeah, calm down.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Definitely. Agreed. Agreed. Yeah. I am a full, yeah, full hold your
Hmm.
mind. But I like I said, I definitely will say yoga helped me to be more, as my mentor would say in Taos at my college, be more tactful, Leah. Like just
Yeah.
be more tactful. Not what you're saying is wrong. What you're saying is completely correct. You just have to learn tactfulness. I'm still learning that. That's gonna be
Yes.
a journey. But yes, that's all. That's that's
See, and I agree with you. And I feel like I'm on the opposite side of it because I don't necessarily, there's no middle ground with me. It's
yes.
either I don't say anything or I say the very, like, I won't say it's wrong, but I won't say it the a way that isn't so,
Yes.
you know.
Agreed. Yeah.
So trying to find a way to still say the thing, but not be silent
Mm-hmm.
and find that middle ground. That's where it's hard for me because oftentimes I will choose not to say the thing.
Ditto. Yep.
And I'm like, you can't not you can't just sit here and be silent
Yeah.
because I like you I am often the squeaky wheel. Like I am often the squeaky wheel when it comes to certain things, and I see something happening, I'm like, hold on a minute, let's talk about how that happened right now because I don't like
Yeah.
it, and I can tell everyone else in here doesn't like it, so I will be the one to bring it up.
Let's
That's
do
fine.
it. Definitely.
Yep.
I'm fine. I'm fine with being the bad guy if that's what we need to do. But this
Mm-hmm.
right here is wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it that follows me everywhere. Gosh, I
I
think
agree.
there was a photo shoot that I was in, and it was a group of women. The photographer called it the Fro Patrol because he was just really kind of, embracing natural hair.
Mm-hmm.
But it was during the Black Lives Matter movement.
Mm-hmm.
So we were really in, that spirit of things. And the owner of the studio comes in and says something to one of the young ladies, who is a plus size woman. And the things that he was saying to her, all of us were like, what the hell? And it got to a point where I'm like, I can't continue with this shoot and make it look nice in
Yeah.
the way that the photographer needs it to be because my face is doing stuff because he's saying shit. I'm like, okay, no. So what you're not gonna do? I was like, you don't need to say those things.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what that's about, but you don't need to say those things, especially not to her. Because I don't know who you think you are, but no, we're
Definitely.
not doing that today.
Definitely.
And everyone was like, oh, and I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not here for that. I'm
Yeah.
going to be the person that says it.
Yeah.
So in that moment, that was where I was practicing. I'm like, okay, I understand that he owns this space, but he's being mad disrespectful.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not doing that. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not doing that at all. So how can I break out from the silence that I see everyone else is keeping up,
Mm-hmm.
but still say what needs to be said without going overboard
Yeah.
and getting us kicked out?
Yes.
Like, nope, mm-mm.
All
Yeah,
of
and
that.
I will credit yoga for that as well.
Yeah.
I will credit yoga for that because it gave me a moment to breathe,
There it is. Mm-hmm.
process,
Mm-hmm.
get my words together. And I unfortunately it allowed for him to say more words,
Yeah.
but I'm like, but at least I will now have the right words to say to make it stop.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
fuck you
Mm-hmm.
if you think you're gonna keep talking to her that way.
Right. Exactly. That is been there too many times, and I appreciate what you said about while he is still making the comments, you are taking the time to process so that you don't come off boom. That's me. That's me. That's me. That's me. Because it's not like it was a one off. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like,
Yes.
it got like, and it's not like I'm here by myself. So like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
cool. So let me think. Let me think. And yes, you can keep going, but I'm coming for you respectfully. Like, I'm coming for you in a second. And that part right there, like you said for yoga, I'm breathing in that moment. I am processing in that moment. I'm finding the words in that moment. I'm trying to get my tone together in that moment. I'm figuring out,
Calming myself down.
yes, if this goes left, maybe what are my exits in that moment? You know what I'm saying? Like whatever. I'm processing all of that. Because sometimes you never know how people are going to respond to you, even if even if you're in the right. You know what I'm saying? Like even
Yes.
if you're in the right.
Yeah, because I've been there plenty of
Yeah.
times
It's
where I am
crazy.
absolutely in the right, but because, well, first of all, there's many layers to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's the fact that I will say the thing that no one else wants to say, but
Yep.
it's also coming from my mouth as a
Mm-hmm.
Black woman.
Yes. Because how dare you?
Yeah.
Because how dare you
Yeah.
speak up? How dare you speak up?
Mm-hmm.
Be
Yep.
silent and be
So
complicit. Shh.
exactly. Navigating all of that, I'm like, okay, yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let me sit here, breathe for a second. I know you're probably gonna say some more bullshit, so I need to bring the blood pressure level down
Yes.
and then be able to speak, because once I speak while the blood pressure is high, I'm not gonna be nice at that
No.
point.
And you
Yeah.
can't then play like you didn't just do all that you did. You can't, well, well, well. well, no,
Yeah,
you can't
all of a
go,
sudden you want to
whoa.
backpedal like
Yeah.
somebody's hostile. It's like you made it the hostile situation.
Hello? I can't. I cannot. See, listen, that's a whole nother conversation. A whole nother listen.
But again, the practice of yoga has brought me a level of self-awareness
Yes.
that helps me in the moment, because there are people that you will deal with that don't have that same level of self-awareness
Mm-hmm.
and will continually do things that will push buttons, and either
Yes.
whether they're conscious of it or not, they're still going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I'm like, I'm going to use what I have learned over these years to not bring myself to that level,
Yeah.
because it's exhausting to be there.
Yes. It
I don't know
is.
how they're not tired of it.
Listen, yeah, and like you said, like your blood pressure, your body's hot. Like nobody, you can't, and you can't. That's not good. That's not. You're not doing
Mm-mm.
any type of good for your body. So yeah, I agree with you. Yoga has helped me. Instead of like fume, it's been like relax them shoulders. Maybe like
Yes.
breathe through it. Come on, breathe through it. And sometimes I will say I'm grateful. My boo is amazing. Because it's funny how you respond to stuff, people do it back to you. You know what I'm saying? Like people start
Yes.
or regulate themselves or even
That
regulate
matching
you.
of energy. Yep.
Yes, very much. He's very much like, okay, so you want to breathe through this? Let's take a second to breathe. Now, a part of me is very much like, so you telling me, you teaching me what okay,
I
cool.
was like, oh, so you me now.
So right, exactly. So okay, cool. You want the certification and everything? Cool. But it's true though. He's right. He's absolutely right. Like that, and it's a beautiful thing that because of what you're learning in yourself internally and showing it to others, that they're able to remind you in the moment of like, hey, remember, we don't have to go back there again. We can breathe.
Mm-hmm.
That is got to be the most beautiful part. How it
Oh, it
translates.
really is. And it saves you money. It
Yeah,
saves you money,
yeah.
because we ain't got money for bonds.
No,
We ain't got
man.
money for
Like,
jail.
come
No,
on.
I ain't got money for these court fees. No.
Right. And then
Yeah.
yeah. And like, no. Like, cause then after a while, whatever you mad at, I promise you, it's never that serious to be dealing with months and years later. It's never that serious. So
Ooh.
yeah, just
Yeah.
breathe through it.
That whole mindset saved my life during a futile portion of time that I spent in a yoga studio.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, the manager was a piece of work, and there was a lot of difficult conversations with this person. But after one of them, I was, still trying to be, as much of a teammate as I could be in the
Yeah.
time. Asked a question of them before leaving, like, "Hey, are you good? You need help with anything?" They responded with some smart ass comment, and my hand immediately was like,
Yeah.
I was ready to throw.
I understand that.
like,
Mm-hmm.
you know what? Let me sit here, put my shoes on, and leave. Just sit here, breathe, put your shoes on, leave. It's not worth it. It
Mm-hmm.
is not worth it.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful to have that mentality now where I can breathe before reacting.
Yes. Breathe before reacting. That part.
Yes.
That part.
If like, and I'm going to say that to everybody, folks. If yoga don't teach you nothing else, breathe before you do anything.
Yeah.
Before you do anything. If you know you're having a difficult conversation with somebody or encountering a difficult situation, take some deep breaths. If you're reacting to something that has presently happened to you, and if it's not life-threatening, breathe.
Yes.
It will save you so much stress and trauma if you just pause and breathe before you react. Because again, I will say it again, if it is not life-threatening, pause and breathe. Please.
It saves everything. It saves everyone. And most of the time, if just one person remembers to pause and breathe, even if it's a lot of people involved, something about that one person, that joint will neutralize real quick. It'll
Yes.
neutralize real quick. It will.
Whew.
It will.
Man.
Yeah. Man, the
Oof.
power of yoga. It's beautiful.
It is so beautiful, so strong, yet so gentle at the same time.
Yeah, it is.
Yes. So, with that all said, and we're getting to the end of our time together, which I am extremely sad about, but
Yeah.
I have a tradition of asking everyone for advice to those that are looking to start a yoga practice and those that are looking to move from practitioner to teacher. What
Yeah.
advice would you give?
So starting yoga practice, try it out. Maybe just try it out at home. Sit and just breathe for like a minute. Set your timer and breathe for like 1 minute. See how you feel, type of thing. Just try it out. Maybe try a pose, type of thing, and just see how you feel. Maybe in your own space, in your own, um, yeah, in your own space first. Maybe I'll try to say that. And then for those trying to transition from practicing to teaching, know that if you are ready to go on a journey of learning you, sign up, enroll. Even if you're scared to learn more about yourself, sign up, enroll. Even if you don't even know what you're signing up for, but you know you want more, sign up, enroll. Because I will truthfully say I didn't know what my training was going to do to me. I thought I was just going there to learn how to put people in Warrior 2. No, ma'am, that's not it. So sign up, do it. That's all I'm going to say.
Beautiful advice and so true. So true.
Yeah.
Man, teacher training will change so much of your perspective about yourself.
Yes.
More than anything.
Yes.
More than anything.
Mm-hmm.
Oof. Leah, this has been so much fun. Thank you so much for being here and sharing your insights and your stories. It has been such a delight getting to know you some more, and I can't wait to continue growing this relationship.
Yes.
We'll definitely be in touch about some things. Could you tell the folks where to find you on social media?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. You are amazing and incredible. This platform is awesome. And thank you so much for all that you're doing for us, for you. It's incredible. You can find me on IG and Twitter at TLC with Leogi, Leogi. And I'm also on Facebook at Truth, Love, Courage Yoga with Leogi. Though both of those things lead to the website as well, which is truthlovecourageyoga.com. Yes, that's all the different places.
Awesome. And remind me again of your virtual classes. When are
Awesome.
they?
Yes, they are Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern, Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, and Saturdays, 10 a.m. Eastern. Three
Got it.
chances to get your flow on.
Awesome. Well, I'm definitely popping into one of these classes very, very soon. So I look forward to seeing you again and experiencing your magic. To everyone listening, thank you so much for being here again. Please join in next week. New episodes every Tuesday. I'm not telling you who I'm going to be meeting with. That's for a surprise. All right. Y'all have a great day. Thank you so much. We'll see you later. Thanks for tuning in to the Yoga in Black podcast. I hope you enjoyed our conversation today. It would be so dope if you could leave a comment or a rating on whichever platform you're listening or watching from today, just to let us know exactly how we're doing. You can also help support the show by providing donations via Spotify, and the link is also on our website. If you are a Black yoga teacher or holistic wellness professional and would like to be on the show, join our wait list. Sign up is available on our website in the Let's Talk section. Here's where you can find us on our social media: Instagram at yoga.inblack and Facebook Yoga in Black. Head to www.yogainblack.net for all your YIB needs. Next episode, you'll meet Krishna Shorty. New episodes air every Tuesday. And thanks again for all of your support, because this could not be done without you all. Have a good day.